Hey guys, Sifu Les Clements here, Black Dragon Kung Fu. Thanks for watching. So this video is going to be a brief explanation on the claw. A few notes about the dragon's claw. Okay, so remember the claw in any Kung Fu style is a subsystem. The system will be the creature that you're emulating. So for example, the tiger, you wouldn't want to just practice the tiger's claw because the tiger has a beautiful system of kicking, elbows, knees, headbutts, all kinds of other things in its arsenal. However, the claw is very brutal. It's one of its primary weapons. So you got to remember the effect of a really developed claw in combat. It's not going to just be fingernails coming across like a scratch. It's going to be the palm connecting first. It's a heavy bone palm, right? Just the palm alone could knock out to the side of the head just right. And it's after that the claws come along with it. So it will be like getting hit with a bat with spikes in it. So you're not just dealing with the puncturing claw, you're dealing with the heavy base of the palm followed by the slash or the lock or whatever's going to happen. Now, I struggled a little bit to make this video because the nature of the claw in combat is brutal. Now, I've heard people say they don't believe in it, whatever. Well, I mean, it depends what you don't believe. I remember when I was in middle school, I witnessed a handful of fights between young women that were trying to claw, and there was blood all over the place. I mean, there are plenty of people that don't even have a developed claw that could create serious lacerations if they really gave it a swat. Now imagine a really heavy claw. Imagine someone who can support their entire body on a concrete floor on only their fingertips. Someone who's been tearing bark off of trees. Someone who has these razor sharp appendages they've been developing for decades. It's going to be very different. Okay, so it requires the responsibility of a firearm. It's something you don't want to use because the consequences are just too grim. If you get into a fight with someone and you punch them and their eyes are black and the police come and you get in trouble, that's one thing. But if the police come and your opponent's got blood all over them from you unleashing that claw, you're in a lot of trouble, okay? It's just like a firearm. If you have to shoot someone, you better drop that thing and back up with your hands up because it's a big deal if you use it. Same thing with the claw. Now, I had to say all of that to get to this. We had to go cut through all of that dark, brutal reality to get to something much more positive. And so if you've been following for the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds, now it's time that everything is going to shift. So the claw is powerful because it's also a metaphor for having a grip. So as I talked about supporting all your body weight on your fingertips, lifting heavy jugs filled with water, concrete cylinders, bricks, crawling and push-ups on the fingertips, doing all of these things will create very strong claw ability in the hands. The ability to grip. The grip represents control over the self, and that's the dragon claw. Control yourself, let others do as they will. Okay, now keeping that in mind, with dragon, when you develop these skills, when your hands are very strong, this is a reflection of how effective your hands can be in the world through your craft or whatever you do. So if you have a craft, make sure it's something that allows you to be centered, okay? So keeping the grip, developing a grip means self-awareness. Sometimes you hear someone say, man, he needs to get a grip, or they need to get a grip, or whatever. Get a grip on the self. Now, when you get good at getting a grip, you start to see a little bit more of what's going on. So here's an example of the dragon mind. The dragon mind it rests in what I call the underbelly. The underbelly is a situation underneath a situation, okay? Here's an example. There could be a video talking about what to do when you're face to face against a person who's trying to punch you, okay? Well, that's very good information to know, but the dragon mind is coming from the underbelly of the situation, beneath the situation, as I said. The situation beneath what you should do if someone's punching you face to face is to learn why you are there. Why are you face to face with an opponent that wants to strike you? Are you legitimately being assaulted and have no recourse, nowhere to go? That's one thing. But if you are willing at all to stand in front and do anything other than try to de-escalate and move away and get out of there, it's bad. So the underbelly of that situation is not what you do to defend against the punch when you're face to face. Why are you face to face? How did it get here? All the little steps that built up to this incident happening. Now, the underbelly, the dragon mind, wants to catch that on step one. Here's someone who's acting unruly in a crowd of people in your vicinity. Time to make an exit. Okay? Do that, and then you'll never get to the point. You see someone going around doing martial arts moves at someone's face. Every now and then you'll see that. Stay away from them. You can't tell if they're playing or if it's real. The range might be off. People are irresponsible. So the better grip we have on ourselves, the better we'll be. Okay, so the other thing that I want to mention is space. If you've been watching my other videos, then you know that we never let anyone get up in our face. So one of the least intelligent things I've ever seen is two full-grown adult men nose to nose with each other, with their chest out, about ready to throw. All right? Neither one of them can see anything but ego. They can't see a headbutt from that close. They can't see a knee to the groin. They can't see the arms come around for a body slam. This is one of the most dangerous positions you could be in, to be nose to nose with someone. So as I say in my other videos, if someone is walking toward you and you can, step back and put your hand out. Take a look over both shoulders first, step back and stick your hand out, okay? We want to create a barrier so someone can't get close enough to where their technique becomes invisible. And that's what happens, okay? So remember to start thinking more with the underbelly, the situation beneath the situation. So-and-so is staring you down. Time to leave. So-and-so is getting closer to you, doing a dangerous movement. Time to leave. You can't leave. Diplomacy. Does that work? So these things become more possible if you develop a grip on yourself. The claw is a good way to do that. But as I said before in one of my older videos, it's very fortunate that it takes that long to develop such a skill, because it weeds out people who aren't supposed to have it. But someone who's not supposed to have it that develops it, the consciousness will change, because a martial artist will eventually become mature and will not wish to do these harmful things anymore after a certain point. If a person can't teach them this, the world would teach them. The body starts breaking down. They don't want to feel the pain anymore of combat. See? Perfect time to learn. So if you found this video on the metaphor of the dragon's claw informative, click the like button. Even better, subscribe. All right, Seafood Les Clements out.